I'm taking on one of the wildest challenges ever to gain 100 pounds by eating my way through Osaka and Kyoto. But there's a twist. With every meal, the food has to get better and better. And the ultimate test? Scoring a reservation at the legendary Menbaka Fire Ramen. Can I make it happen? Now, as exciting as this journey is, it's a little tough because my grandma couldn't make it. She's always working hard, and one of my biggest dreams is to bring her here one day. Until then, I'm finding a perfect spot for her. Will I gain 100 pounds? Will I find a perfect spot for my grandma? Only one way to find out. Day one. My stomach is touching my back right now, but I don't want to stop anywhere in Downtabori, so you can basically say I'm being picky. I came across this restaurant with a big crab on the building called Kani Daraku or something like that. I'm not gonna lie, crabs are my favorite food, so I was kind of hyped coming here, but I hope it's good because you know they don't be putting Old Bay on their crabs like back home. Yeah, I can already tell these next 5 days are going to be extremely challenging. I got into the restaurant and used my Google Translate to understand the menu. I was kind of cramped up because the seating area is small. It's a bad day to be 6'5", am I right? Yeah, let me stop. I'm only 5'10". But moving on. They actually had the English menu on a tablet, so I looked through that and ended up getting a two-way boiled crab, whatever that means, and some other things. Apparently, the boiled crab is supposed to be boiled 2 different ways, one making the meat sweeter and another helping with the texture or something like that. I was just hungry, so I drank some water to fill up the empty space in my stomach. It be like that sometimes. I also got some wine so I could tolerate all the food I'll be eating over the next few days. But after I took a sip, my food arrived. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I thought there would be a lot more crab considering I paid 10,890 yen, but we're in Japan. I'm not tripping. Another thing is people don't really use their hands to eat food in Japan. So I was struggling with these chopsticks to get all the meat out. You don't want to leave any meat behind. Pause. I dipped the crab into that sauce and went to town. It was pretty good in the sauce. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely noticed it was a little sweeter. I also got some crab rolls as well. I dipped it in some teriyaki sauce and went crazy. They were pretty good too. Now this is where it gets a little difficult. I tried to use the tool to get the meat out of the shoulder part and I was struggling. If I could use my hands, I've already been done with this crab, but I'll use manners for now. I don't know if I can keep this up at every place. My hands might have to get used eventually. As I ate, I couldn't help but think about my grandma again. She'd love it here, but I know she'd be giving me that look about how small the crab portions are. This meal's decent, but I don't know if it's grandma worthy yet. Hey grandma, so I went to this crab place called Kani Daraku, and they had like no Old Bay seasoning on their crab, but it was a little sweet. Would you like that?
Ew, that sounds nasty. That don't sound like that's something I want to eat.
Alright grandma, I mean I could find another place, but I'll just keep looking. I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, grandma wasn't feeling the sweet crab at all. After I got done with my crab, I paid the bill and went back to put my shoes on. I forgot to mention, you gotta take your shoes off before entering these restaurants. Pretty much all of them. Luckily, my socks weren't too sweaty today, or else I've been turning heads all in that restaurant. Now that I had some crab, I was in a good mood, so I gave Menbaka Fire Ramen a call to see if I can get a reservation there, but they never picked up the phone. I really wish I can get a reservation there by the end of this trip. It's always been my dream, and I love to tell my grandma I made it happen. Since I got the bad news, it made me hungry again. I ended up stopping at a 10 yen bread stand to see what all the hype was around these breads. I don't know why they call it 10 yen bread because them things were definitely 500 yen. I felt robbed, but the bread was so beautiful, I didn't care and proceeded to take the bread to the head. Look at the cheese coming off that thing. I'm about to be on the toilet for sure, but I don't care. I'm in Japan. After that, I walked around a bit more and came across the famous Running Man sign. I kept seeing videos about it online every time I looked up Osaka. Go Eagles! Honestly, as amazing as everything is here, I can't stop thinking about how much better it would be to share with my family. It does feel a little lonely, but now that I've seen the Running Man, it's time to find more food. I didn't come to Japan to play around. I need something better than the crab and the bread put together. And remember, the food options get better and better as the video goes on. I stumbled upon Strawberry Mania. I didn't know what it was, but I just felt like I was meant to stop here. I saw they had candy strawberries and I knew that this was my next meal, but the lady ended up giving me a strawberry daifuku instead. I don't even know what that squishy thing is, but hey, we're in Japan. The squishy thing kinda caught me off guard and it didn't taste the best to me. What a waste of my precious yen. I didn't want to go out like that, but that's the first L of the day. I started taking back streets out of pure frustration, hoping I'd run into a hidden gem or something. I came across an arcade place to take some of the stress off my mind from taking the L I just took. I played a game real quick and I took a L, sadly. But you know what? I tried again, then I took another L. I told myself never again and proceeded on my hunt to find more food.
They just robbed me for my money and I can't get that back.
I ran into this ramen place called Ichiran Ramen and it was packed with locals, so it had to be good. I decided to eat there and I was met with this big line and this lady said it was a 40-minute wait. Now, I ain't got no time for that. Time is food, but I made a mental note to eat here either tomorrow or the third day before I travel from Osaka to Kyoto. Speaking of Kyoto and ramen, before I went to my next restaurant, I tried sending an email to my dream ramen place, Menbaka Fire Ramen, to see about the reservation again. I really hope they respond because if I can't go there by the end of this trip, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I stopped at a few shops on my way to my next restaurant. Well, hopefully I find a restaurant. I've been taking all these L's today, so who knows. I took a couple more back streets and stopped at a crab restaurant called Kaya. Alright, listen, y'all see it? That's the name. And I know, you're probably thinking, Dez, are you just gonna eat crab the whole time? Nah, relax. The thing that attracted me was that it's an all-you-can-eat crab, so it's different. All my crab lovers understand, trust me. I took my shoes off and sat at another little table that was oddly comfortable this time. I was met with this odd device. I got scared because I thought the crabs were already cooked. I didn't want to all-you-can-eat raw crab and have to cook them myself, but the cooking pot was just meant for my sides. Still, I didn't want to have to cook raw shrimp, but hey, I took one for the team. They brought out my crab and then a lady turned on my pot for me so my soup could cook. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I used my hands this time because there was nobody around watching me, so I felt comfortable. I went crazy, but I didn't know where to put my crab scraps, so I tried asking the lady for help.
Was I supposed to put the crab in here?
Crab?
Yeah, was I supposed to put them in here?
Crab?
After the lady said crab multiple times, I just assumed she said put the crabs in a little trash can that was sitting next to me. I then found a mysterious shell creature in my boil. Let me know in the comment section what this is. I love clams, but I don't know if I love whatever that was. But then I got another round of crabs and started to eat my boil, and a problem occurred. People started to enter the restaurant and then I completely shut down. I pulled out the chopsticks and I only really ended up eating 4 clusters, so I didn't really get my money's worth at all. I ended up paying $73, which is 10,139 yen. 4 clusters isn't that bad, but I definitely could eat more if I could use my hands. The night was still young and I wanted to start my first day off with a bang, so I went back to Strawberry Mania and got the candy strawberry on a stick this time. It was really good, but it was super sweet, so I recommend you only eat one. After I conquered Strawberry Mania, I was finally full, so I started to head back to the hotel. I kind of felt sick, I'm not gonna lie. That candy strawberry kind of got me, but then I snapped out of it and said, I'm in Japan. Some people would do anything to come here, so I said I can't be selfish. I have to give the people what they want. So I stopped at a random ramen spot on my way to the hotel. I didn't look at any reviews, I didn't see it on Google. I really don't know what to expect. The ramen ended up being really good, and it was a nice chill vibe. The place is called Kokodaki and it ended up being 1,400 yen. I also got a drink here as well, so that added to the price. Today was a roller coaster, the crab was decent, and the bread was a W, and I'm still on a hunt for Menbaka Fire Ramen. But the thing that's really weighing on me is how much I wish I could share these moments with my family, especially my grandma. I know she has something funny to say about every meal I tried today. Tomorrow's a new day, and I'm gonna keep pushing until I find the perfect spot for her and gain 100 pounds. Stay tuned. Day 2. I woke up a tad bit sluggish with all the food in my stomach, so I decided to go get some blood flowing with a little light jog. Nothing too crazy because I'm still trying to gain 100 pounds by the end of this trip. This gym is actually really nice. After the gym, I went down to the hotel's restaurant to get some breakfast and to see if Menbaka Fire Ramen responded back to me yet. But sadly, they're still ducking me. I might just have to be like a toxic ex and just pull up on them when I go to Kyoto, but no need to take extreme measures yet. There's still time. Grandma, so I'm still trying to get a reservation from the spot, but they keep ducking me like they owe me money or something.
Well, just keep looking. You'll find a reservation. That sounds like something I want to come and see.
Okay, I'll keep trying. It's just really frustrating though, but I love you.
Love you too.
After breakfast, I went down to the lobby and saw I could buy Universal tickets right from the hotel. I'm definitely going here tomorrow on day 3 to see what kind of food they have at the park. I can't wait. After the good news, I got myself a matcha milk bubba tea. I never had it before, but I heard matcha was really good. And whoever said that lied. Now hear me out. It low-key tasted like grass. Don't ask me how I know that. When I was a kid, I used to play outside and you know, you're a kid and you're yelling with your mouth open and then you just trip and fall and yeah, you get the picture. I stopped at a couple anime stores to release some of the stress I'm having about Menbaka Fire Ramen not hitting me back. But besides that, I definitely gotta cop me a shirt. I need a souvenir for the fam, but especially grandma. But I don't even know if she like anime like that, but I know she wouldn't mind. While I was in the anime shop, I decided to go back to that Ichiran ramen spot that told me there was a 40-minute wait yesterday. I hope they're not packed, but regardless, I got time today. I gotta see what all the hype was about. All the locals flocked there, but remember, this spot has nothing on Fire Ramen. Fire Ramen is on a whole different level, but we'll give this spot a try. I waited in a long line for about 50 minutes, got my ticket and everything, and started to chow down on my ramen. The broth in this ramen was succulent with like this bone marrowy taste, or I don't know. But it didn't taste too much like bone, if that makes sense. And I also like how they hand you the ramen from this little curtain thing. Like, you never actually see the worker's face, you only see them from the shoulders down. It's the perfect spot for introverts. This meal came to about 989 yen, and the meal was pretty delicious considering the price. Uh-oh, Menbaka Fire Ramen, you might have some competition. I left Ichiran Ramen with a smile on my face and proceeded to find something sweet. I ended up at this melon bread stand that I saw somewhere online, and I was surprised when I found it. I wanted the best flavor, so it came to 800 yen, which is $5, so I'd say it's pretty fair. The bread tasted like wafers with strawberry ice cream. It's the best snack I had so far. I definitely recommend this spot when you come here, and yeah, I got you, family. I'm manifesting you come to Japan soon, as well as my grandma. Okay, now I really had to slow down with all the eating for a little while until the food digests. Like, I'm trying to gain 100 pounds, but look, I ain't trying to body myself in the process. We gotta do this at a slow pace. So while I waited for my stomach to get in order, I decided to go see what else Osaka has to offer. I ended up going to America Mora, which is like a thrifting town from what I researched. They got a bunch of cool clothes and brands here, and I ended up buying a couple shirts and pants for myself. I simply had to. Japan's fashion is top tier. After I finished with the clothes, I proceeded to a spot I think was the mall. My stomach still needed a little bit of time, so the mall was definitely the next move. But I saw a lot of cool things in this 8-story mall, including a big burger, and oh my god, I think I'm getting hungry again. After the burger, I played this fighting game and then just continued to explore. I think the big burger might have programmed my mind, because after I left the mall, I was craving a burger so bad. I typed out burger into Google Translate to get the Japanese version of burger so I could find the best spots around. Once I did my little hack, I decided to take on Shogun Burger. They were my next victim. As soon as I got the Shogun, I was loving the vibe and atmosphere, and because of that, I decided to take on their most exotic burger, which had egg, cheese, and noodles on it. And then I proceeded to take a sharp bite out of the burger to assert my dominance, just because I felt like it. The burger was definitely busting out the wrapper, I'm not gonna lie. It's a 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. After the burger, I needed a refreshment, so I headed over to Akashic Records. The vibe here was definitely spooky, and their drink menu reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh cards for some reason. I was also a little intimidated because it looked like the staff was in here making potions or something, but I stopped being a scaredy cat and ended up getting a drink called the Little Planet, which was 1,500 yen. Now look at that galaxy, fam. That's just beautiful. Taste it through the screen. Taste it. The next drink I got was called the Lemon Tart Martini. Now it tasted like a cream pie, but who doesn't like cream pies? Come on. Cream pies for everyone. This drink came to about 1,700 yen, a little bit more than a Little Planet. And last but certainly not least, I'm getting the big boy of all drinks, the Gastric Castus Orange. The preparation for this drink wasn't regular at all, as you can see. The fire started to remind me of my dream spot, Menbaka Fire Ramen, low key, but let me stop. I don't want to get in my feelings just yet. Okay, now he lost me with all the gas. I don't even know if we're making drinks anymore at this point. He has to be like a wizard or a witch or something. Like, what is this? The preparation of this drink took about 10 minutes, no cap, no exaggeration. But luckily the drink was just as good as it looked. This masterpiece came to about 1,700 yen as well. After I devoured those beautiful drinks, I saw this bell that said 1 push equals 1 shot. I thought this was like some funny gag or joke, so I tapped it twice, and they all said this. Hey grandma, so I just had a burger with egg, cheese, and noodles on it. You think you can handle that?
Ew, that sounds nasty. That wouldn't be something I want to try, but it's alright if you try it.
Grandma, they're not actual like ramen noodles, it's the... You know what, I'll just let you know when I find something better, alright? Love you, grandma.
Love you too.
Day 3. I hardly got any sleep last night. I kept tossing and turning and having heat flashes. I think I was having a nightmare. The Menbaka Fire Ramen owner came to me in my dream and told me I was banned from his restaurant. I screamed, "Not true," and then he summoned me down this dark black hole. I immediately woke up and did my morning workout to get my mind off of things. I was completely out of it. But my day got better because I'm headed to Universal Japan. I was so excited because I always wanted to see what type of food they got here. Hey grandma, I'm about to go to Universal to try some food. When I bring you here, we should eat and go on a roller coaster.
You got to be crazy. I'm not going on no roller coaster. I will eat all the food you give me.
Okay, grandma, my bad. I was just joking. Obviously, you're not going to go on a roller coaster, but nah, we could definitely eat when you get here though. Love you.
Love you too.
Alright, yeah, taking my grandma on a roller coaster probably wouldn't be the best idea. Let's get back to the main mission of gaining 100 pounds and eating better and better food. Walking up to the park was a crazy experience. I've been to Universal before in the United States, but this was just not the same. I really can't put my finger on it, but there's something different in the air. I'm gonna be honest, seeing everybody with their family, having fun, almost brought a tear to my eye. Because that's what it's all about. I really wish my family could come here with me today, but it's all good. I gotta keep pushing. Now, let me lock in. I'm getting a little thirsty. My next victim was the Hello Kitty Corner Cafe. They looked like they were easy prey. I ended up getting the Hello Kitty Strawberry and Tangy White Easter drink, and it came to 700 yen. The drink was hitting in that cloudy, no sunlight because the sun's not out, but isn't she pretty? I took the first drink, and I almost died of chronic diabetes. Like, instantly. I'm not gonna lie, if you're a diabetic, don't drink this drink. But to be honest, it was still good. It's just really sweet with a bunch of little glitter candies and stuff like that. So I would just chill on it. After I got done with the sparkly fairy drink, I needed something less sweet. So I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter to find the Butterbeer. I never really watched Harry Potter like that, but I heard the Butterbeer was really good. I was searching everywhere for it. I didn't know if it was outside or on one of these overly expensive merch stores. I ended up going down this trail where I saw a bunch of people heading. So I was like, dang, they must be going where the Butterbeer is. But I ended up getting in a line for the Harry Potter ride by accident. I was instantly boxed in by a bunch of people, so I had no other choice but to ride the ride and get motion sickness. Plus, I don't think this is the best idea because I got all this food on my stomach. But what other choice do I have? We're already here. Grandma, I got lost trying to find this Butterbeer. Like, I'm like on a whole quest out here.
You better not be out there drinking no beer.
Grandma, it's not real beer. It's just like a Harry Potter thing. It's not.
You'll be an alky.
Grandma, I'm not going to be an alcoholic. I promise you. But I'll just keep looking for it. All right, I love you.
Much love to you too.
Alright, my grandma thinks I'm an alcoholic now. It's not good, but moving on. After surviving the motion sickness death trap, I went back on my mission to find the infamous Butterbeer. I was about to ask the Japanese Harry Potter if he knew where it was, but he looked busy, so I guess I'll proceed to find it alone. But shortly after that, I ended up finding a Butterbeer and we had a problem. The line was too long, and y'all already know how I feel about lines, so we sadly had to take the first L of the day. I guess I'll go try to find some food. I'm done messing with drinks for right now.
This is what we working with. We got pizza with mayonnaise and tuna. That's crazy. We gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, pizza with mayonnaise and tuna is crazy. And I forgot to mention it has shrimp on it too. I wanted to go to Super Nintendo World to try food, but who knew you needed a reservation to go in? That really made me mad. But I ended up just going to Jurassic World instead because it was right next to me. When I went in there, I was met with this huge crowd that was looking at this dinosaur. I know the guy in that suit gotta be hot as hell. After I was done with the dinosaurs, I went over to New York, and yes, they have a New York at Universal Japan. That's crazy. As you can see, it looks like the real thing, and I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely getting Everybody Hates Chris vibes here. But I almost forgot, I actually got a New York style pizza here, but I forgot to record it, sadly. After I ate, I ended up leaving the park because I tried to do this auction thing to get a reservation to go into Nintendo World, and I lost. So I was like, I'm leaving right now. I really wanted to go there, but it's okay. I had to go back to the hotel anyway to start packing for our trip tomorrow to Kyoto. I ended up having this taxi take me to this chicken spot before I went to the hotel. The spot was called Yakitori Kibutaki, or something like that. Now, I had a crazy experience at this place. I ordered 7 chicken skewers with chicken soup and pickles. Now, when going to a skewer place, or shish kebab place, or whatever you want to call it, I thought the guy was going to give me, you know, a regular piece of meat on a stick. But I was completely wrong. The guy asked me, "Do you eat chicken heart, brains, guts, liver?" I said, "No, sorry, I don't eat any of that. I only eat the basics. You know, like chicken breast and stuff like that." He said, "Okay, thank you." I was relieved because I thought I dodged a bullet, but I wasn't off the hook yet. The cook handed me my first skewer and started grazing over his stomach region and said, "This one is the belly. You like?" Then he started smiling. I guess I should have been more specific and told him exactly what I wanted, but it's too late now. I'm in too deep. I said, "Yeah, that's fine," and smiled back at him. I took the first bite and it actually wasn't that bad. It was a little chewy, but overall, it tasted like chicken. Then he handed me my next skewer, but he didn't make any motions this time. I just eyeballed the meat and it didn't look too suspicious, so I just ate it. Now I could have just been eating some chicken eyebrow meat or chicken elbow meat or something like that, but I just took a risk. The cook then gave me the remaining 5 skewers at one time, with the skewers being neck meat, jaw meat, wing meat, ground chicken, and then chicken breast. After I got done with all the skewers, I started to think about the second skewer, like, what was that? Was that mystery meat or something? But it's over now, so whatever. I'm just glad everything tasted like chicken for the most part, and we survived that. I was kinda scared. But I left that place feeling like I learned a valuable lesson. You never really know what kind of meat you're eating out here. I never really thought to ask people what region of the body did you get that meat from, but that just had me thinking. After that whole experience, I needed a little pick-me-up, so once I got back to the hotel, I ended up going to the hotel's restaurant called Whiskey Nova, which is a steakhouse. I know what y'all thinking. Des, how could you possibly want more meat after that whole experience you just had at the skewer place? Don't worry y'all, this is a different kind of meat. Chicken and steak aren't the same meats, so let me get my steak meat in peace. Thank you. But on a serious note, this place is hella cool. A meat vending machine is mythical. That's crazy. I ended up getting a grilled Caesar salad, sweet corn soup, vegetable sirloin steak, fried potatoes, and macaroni and cheese. This meal came to a whopping 12,000 yen. Yeah, it's on the pricier side, but it's definitely worth it. The steak meat was really juicy.
Grandma, I just had the best steak ever today. You'll definitely love it here.
The steak sound good, but I heard you was having some chicken belly.
Yeah, let's just say I dodged the bullet, but it could have been a lot worse. But don't worry about it. We're just gonna stick to the basics when you come here. Love you.
Love you too.
Day 4. My hunt for the best food in Japan continues. Menbaka Fire Ramen in Kyoto is still ducking me, and I'm starting to feel like Will Smith in that one episode when his dad didn't love him. I checked my emails, nothing. I gave him a call, and it went straight to voicemail. I want to give up trying, but hopefully a miracle will happen where I get this reservation in Kyoto. As you can see, navigating the train station is such a drag, but I'm a pro traveler, so eventually I figured out the tickets and the subway and how to get to the bullet train to Kyoto and everything like that. I went straight to the Gion district, and just like in Lion King, I started looking for some grub. But it was a dummy mission because everything was closed, so I ended up going to the Nishiki market instead. I stopped at Cafe Decree to wet my whistle real quick before I started taking over the market. The iced tea was hitting different, and I don't know why, but I started craving bacon after that. So I decided to cuddle some pigs at this experience that cost me about 3,000 yen. I was never the one to play with my food, but these pigs were cute as hell, so I'll make some exceptions. But let me stop fooling around. I didn't eat these pigs, just in case somebody says, "Did you eat those pigs?" or something like that. But yeah, they were cool. The pigs were fun to play with, but some steaming hot food is better. So I ended up stalking these crabs and giving in to my guilty pleasure because y'all know I love crabs. This place is called Kyoto Nishiki Ichiba. Now, I think it's called that, but to be safe, we're just gonna call it Nishiki Market Crab. I ended up getting a butter grilled crab and paid 1,667 yen. I expected to get at least 1 or 2 clusters because I paid $12, but I ended up only getting 2 legs. But besides that, the crab was really good. I never really had grilled crab before, but it's probably the best ways to prepare a crab. After that great experience, I had to go next door and try the guy who had the crab on a stick. These were only 500 yen, and trust me, I was hyped about the price, but I wasn't so hyped about how the crab tasted. I don't know if it was just me, but I'm like a crab specialist, so I should know how it tastes. I have the certificate and everything. The texture or something was off on this crab. Like, I get why it was 500 yen now. The price was just a little too suspicious. But the Nishiki market has so many different options of seafood, so I was like, alright, let me stop picking favorites and go try something else. The grilled clams sounded so good, so I gave them a try. And you know you gotta put that hot sauce on the clams. I actually learned this from my dad. He's a bigger seafood lover than I am. I learned everything from that man. Now won't you look at that? That looks so good. And I understand if you never had clams before, this could look a little alien, but trust me, if a clam had a power level, it would be over 9,000. I proceeded to throw that sauce on there, and I gave the clam everything I got. This clam was a 10 out of 10 for me, but the hot sauce went down the wrong pipe, so I nearly died. I spent 800 yen on this, and it was worth every penny, or 1 yen, or I think that's, I don't know.
Hey, Grandma, I found this crazy seafood market, man. You'll definitely love it here. It's a lot of seafood. They got grilled clams, grilled crab, and everything. I'm definitely still looking for the best spot for you.
Oh, I love some seafood. When I get there, I'm gonna tear it up.
Yeah, don't worry, Grandma. We gonna go crazy when you come out here. We gonna have all the seafood you can ever imagine. But love you, Grandma. I'll talk to you some other time.
Much love to you, too.
After the whole Nishiki market experience, I ended up going to my hotel to check in. And it low-key looks like a college campus. Look at these views though. God Damn. After I got done with my hotel, I almost slid in a 7-Eleven to see what they got, but I was like, nah, I'd rather go to a restaurant instead. The 7-Eleven would be the easy way out. I stumbled upon this Italian restaurant called Stars and Casio or Cacao or something like that. I'm really bad with these names. Now I know what you're thinking. Des, how are you gonna go to Japan and eat Italian food? Listen, sometimes you have to switch it up. I'm at a war with my stomach and I gotta keep it on its toes. Yeah, I'm definitely gaining 100 pounds by the end of this trip for sure. The food came out and I ended up getting a traditional oven baked lasagna that was 4,000 yen. That was probably the best lasagna I had in my life. I'm not capping y'all. That lasagna was different. Who would have known Japan got some banger Italian restaurants too? As day 4 comes to an end, I can't help to think about my grandma and how much she'll love this place. I've been finding all these hidden gems all over Japan, but it's just not the same without sharing it with the people you love. One day I'm gonna bring my whole family here and make sure they experience all of this, especially my grandma. Day 5. It's finally here, y'all. The last day. And still no response from Menbaka Fire Ramen. But you know what? It's okay. This trip has been an incredible adventure, and sharing it with you all has been worth more than any bowl of ramen. Sometimes life can feel like a grind, the same 9-to-5 routine, just getting by, but never really living. I've been there, and I know many of you have too. We get so caught up in working and trying to survive that we forget to truly live. But trips like this, they remind me what it means to be alive. Not just existing, but experiencing the world, tasting new things, and soaking in different cultures. It's about freedom. The kind of freedom I wish my whole family had. I wish we could just drop everything, pack up our bags, and travel whenever we wanted, without worrying about work or responsibilities back home. My grandma couldn't make it on this trip because of her job, and that hits hard. It's a reminder of how the rat race traps so many of us, keeping us alive but not really living. I can't wait for the day I can bring my whole family on adventures like this, especially my grandma, so they can experience this freedom too. Even though I couldn't share it with them in person, sharing it with you all has made it worth it. So who needs Menbaka Fire Ramen when I already had such a successful adventure? But wait, I forgot who I was. I don't really give up that easy, so I just pulled up on them like they were my ops, and surprisingly, I got seated right away. Apparently, I was dialing the wrong number this whole time. Don't hate me. I forgot to put 011 in front of their phone number instead of 1. I'm not in the US anymore. Things are different. So pretty much my calls never went through. Menbaka Ramen wasn't ducking me. I was just stupid. But hey, I'm happy I got here right when they opened because they said it gets packed at a certain time. The nice guy ended up taking a photo of me and then he held up a sign saying something like don't run, don't scream, and lean back or something like that. Saying don't run is crazy. I'm going to be honest, I got scared a little bit and my anxiety rose even more when I saw the cook in the back have an iron glove or something. Like, what is that? The iron glove man then walked over and threw a huge fireball at me right in my face. Yeah, these workers are definitely a part of the Fire Nation, hands down. But to be honest, they did singe my eyebrows, but in the moment I was just amazed at what was going on, so I didn't care. But now I get why they said don't run, don't scream and stuff like that. It got real quick. But I ended up getting a complete set of fire ramen, fire rice, gyoza, and fried chicken. This meal was definitely fit for a king. I guess Menbaka Fire Ramen lived up to the hype. Like their ramen is in its own league for sure.
Hey grandma, you're not gonna believe it, but I finally got a reservation at Menbaka Fire Ramen. But to warn you, I did singe my eyebrows. The guy threw a fireball at me, but the food was great.
Fire at the table?
Grandma, I'll make sure you get the royal treatment when you're here. You don't have to worry about your wig. Your wig is not gonna catch on fire. But I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you.
I miss you too. Love you too, grandbaby.
After I was finished, the staff gave me a coin as a gift for their magic gumball machine outside. I then proceeded to get my souvenir, and I was literally the happiest man on the planet in that moment. Yeah, I guess dreams do come true. We didn't gain 100 pounds, but we gained the experience. Life's too short not to chase your dreams or bring your family alongside for the ride. Whether it's fire ramen in Japan or another adventure, it's about making memories that last. Subscribe now so you don't miss out on the next journey.